When the pandemic began, we heard a lot of comparisons to 9/11 and hoped that the path to recovery would be similar. But that was primarily an air travel issue. COVID has impacted every sector. Travelers wonder if they fly to a destination, will their hotel be safe? Will restaurants be open? Will there be anything to do in the city? And companies are dealing with those same issues as they consider resuming business travel. So it's all commingled and therefore more important than ever for the industry to come together as all of you are today. I'd like to offer a few thoughts about the future based on what I and my colleagues at FocusWire have been seeing and hearing as we've been covering this industry and this crisis over the last few months. And since I'm a journalist, I will start with our headline. The travel industry will come out of this crisis smaller, but hopefully safer and smarter. In keeping with the 7x7 format of today's program, I have 7 themes that I'd like to share that have led us to that conclusion. Number 1, health is the new priority. The airline industry has always been in the business of safety, but now the definition of safety is much more broad. My colleagues at Focusrite conducted a survey recently about traveler expectations and behaviors, and the results show that when planning leisure trips, fear of contracting COVID is the top concern in nearly every market. And we believe this heightened awareness of health and hygiene is here to stay. More than 2 in 5 respondents say that the pandemic will permanently alter how they feel about flying. Just last week, the CDC released a study saying that long international flights can create ideal conditions for super spreader events. So we expect to see even greater concerns about air quality, particularly on international flights. Number 2, industry collaboration is essential. As I mentioned, any one sector getting its health and hygiene right or any one country getting the virus under control doesn't solve the big picture. I'm hearing a variety of industry leaders echo this same thought. Just a couple of weeks ago, it was Delta CEO Ed Bastian calling on all travel stakeholders to join arms to drive safety and rebuild traveler confidence. The good news is we are seeing examples of this happening in the form of partnerships to create innovative solutions. For example, Southeast Asian super app Grab is now offering tour and activity bookings through Klook. And multimodal platform Omio is partnering with tourist destinations in Italy. Number 3, consumer behavior has changed again, led by tech. Since the beginning of this year, there has been a massive uptick in consumers' comfort with and usage of technology. In fact, McKinsey says the pandemic has caused e-commerce penetration in the United States to jump ahead 10 years in just 90 days. For now, we're mainly seeing this in the way people order food, clothing, electronics, but as travel resumes, that will be added to the list. And what are the implications of this? Focusrite's survey found people researching travel online are hungry for information about things like cleaning procedures, mask requirements, and distancing policies. They also want clear information about refunds and rebooking. In this uncertain environment and with online adoption growing, it seems that Bill Gates' famous statement of nearly 25 years ago that content is king may be more relevant than ever. Number 4, creative solutions are emerging. It seems there has never been a better time to remind ourselves of the old adage that necessity is the mother of invention. Every week, I'm finding examples of this from around the globe. Just last week, I wrote about Dutch hotel brand citizenM creating a corporate subscription plan to serve the growing remote workforce. We're also hearing of new subscription options for business travel and in the tours and activities sector. And there are many brands experimenting with live streaming video in their mobile apps as a new content format. As Airbnb prepares for its IPO, it has been making it easier for people to find properties that allow stays of a month or more, as it seems clear that where we live, work, and travel will merge post-COVID. Number 5, it's time for action on sustainability. As the industry works its way through this crisis, we're hearing a lot of talk of building back better and smarter. By virtue of the industry being smaller post-COVID and technology such as this eliminating some inefficient business travel, there's no doubt some metrics will naturally improve. But the question is, what can we do intentionally? Because of the virus, there has been a surge in people's desire to avoid crowds, to get out into nature. So it seems that there is no better time to deal with some of the overcrowding that has been plaguing some of the world's largest tourist destinations. and to use new metrics for success that go beyond numbers of travelers and money spent. Here too, we are seeing solutions being developed. For example, to provide more transparency around carbon impact so leisure and business travelers can make more informed decisions. Number 5, diversity and equality cannot be ignored. These issues are not new, but the concerns have certainly been amplified this year due to events in the United States that have reverberated around the world. Your customers are paying attention. They're noticing what companies are doing, which ones are speaking up, and which ones are taking action. It's less about perfection and more about transparency and a willingness to evolve. And remembering that our industry is all about bringing people together and celebrating differences. As Caroline Strachan of Festive Road said at this year's Focusrite Europe conference, maybe 2020 can be remembered as the most human year, when we really started to focus on issues of equality and humanity. And finally, number 7, big tech is getting bigger. The e-commerce acceleration that I mentioned earlier has allowed the biggest players in our digital world, Google, Amazon, Facebook, and Apple, to have even more control and influence. Google in particular has been aggressively building its travel business for years. In recent weeks, it has added flight and hotel availability data and a cancellation filter to its travel search results, providing that content that consumers are craving. The broader issue related to Google and the others is the way they control data and the way that is growing exponentially with each search, click, and purchase online. We are, of course, watching to see what comes out of some of the antitrust investigations that are ongoing, and also whether travel brands that have vowed to come out of this crisis with less dependence on Google are really able to do so. I hope this brief summary of the 7 themes we are seeing across the industry may resonate as you hear from the Spotlight speakers today and participate in the roundtable discussions over the next few days. And regarding our headline of smaller, safer, and smarter, the decisions your companies make over the rest of this year and into 2021, individually and in collaboration, will not only allow you to survive what will no doubt be a smaller industry, but will also enable you to emerge as a safer industry for travelers to enjoy again, and with a smart strategy to build a strong future. Beth, back to you.